Welcome to our fascinating journey through time as we explore the origins of tabletop games. The story of these games begins thousands of years ago, long before Monopoly or Scrabble were even a thought. The first known tabletop game hails from ancient Egypt. Senet, played around 3500 BC, was a game of strategy and luck. The game board consisted of 30 squares arranged in 3 rows of 10. It was a game of passage, reflecting the journey to the afterlife. Meanwhile, in the Indus Valley civilization, a game named Liubo was gaining popularity. It was a 2-player board game that was played from the 4th to the 1st century BC. The game's aim was to navigate the pieces across the board, while avoiding various pitfalls. In the land of Mesopotamia, the royal game of came into existence. This ancient game, dating back to 2600 BC, was a race game based on the roll of a dice. It was played on a board that had 20 squares, and the objective was to get all pieces off the board first. Fast forward to the 6th century in India, and we find Chaturanga. This strategy game was an early form of chess. Its name translates to 4 divisions, representing the infantry, cavalry, elephants, and chariotry, the divisions of the Indian army. Go, a game of strategy, was invented in China more than 2,500 years ago. 2 players took turns placing stones on a grid, aiming to capture the opponent's stones or surround empty space. This game was not just about winning or losing, it was about building and connecting. In the 2nd century, the Romans played Ludus Latrunculorum, a 2-player military strategy game. It was a battlefield game where the objective was to capture the opponent's pieces by enclosing them between 2 of your own. During the Middle Ages, the game of backgammon became popular. It is one of the oldest known board games, and its history can be traced back nearly 5,000 years to archaeological discoveries in the Middle East. The 18th century introduced a game that has become a family favorite worldwide: checkers. Also known as drafts, this game was played on a chessboard and involved strategic moving and capturing of opponents' pieces. In the late 19th century, the game that would evolve into modern Scrabble was born. Originally called Lexico and then Criss-Crosswords, it underwent several changes before becoming the word-forming game we love today. Finally, we arrive at the 20th century, the era of Monopoly. First published by Parker Brothers in 1935, it quickly became a best-selling game during the Great Depression. It's a game of buying and trading properties, with the winner being the player who bankrupts all the others. So, the next time you sit down to play a tabletop game, remember the rich history that it carries with it. From ancient civilizations to modern times, these games have not only provided entertainment, but also reflected the cultures and societies of their times.